I know I've been discussing a lot of Christian and biblical topics on this channel. So while we're at it, let's talk about sin. You familiar with the passage that says the wages of sin are death, right? Ask yourself, how so? How are the wages of sin death? Well, first, let's define sin. Let's define it. When you think about what sin is, it's really an acronym. It means separation in nature. So wherever you see a gap or a split or separation in nature, that's sin. Sin is whatever is unnatural. So don't confuse sin with church etiquette. Don't do that. Because you do have a lot of church folk out here that will call anything a sin. They'll call the way you dress a sin, the way you talk a sin. If you're using profanity, they'll call that a sin. But it's not. Because both blessings and cursings are natural. Otherwise, why would Jesus curse the fig tree if that weren't natural? Back in Deuteronomy, didn't they give you Mount Ebal to pronounce cursings from? So cursings are just as natural as blessings. Consumption is natural. This dog-eat-dog society, while it may not seem natural, it is. We might disagree with this notion, but animals hunt each other down every day for food, and animals are considered what? A part of nature. So what's an example of true sin? What are examples of true sin? One of them is self-doubt. To doubt yourself is not natural. Babies don't doubt themselves. So we don't come into this world with doubt. Another example of sin is a lack of imagination. It's only natural for us to see things in our minds and work out our scenarios ahead of time, and even in hindsight to reflect. Reflection, all of these things take imagination. Now, here's a very controversial one that I'm sure people will disagree with. I'm sure they will. But sex within the confines of marriage is not natural. It's legal, but it's not natural. Just hear me out. The idea of marriage, it doesn't inspire sex. It doesn't inspire procreation. It restricts it because in some religions, abstinence is mandated until marriage. It's legal, maybe even moral, but it's not natural. What if babies could only be produced through marriage? How many of us would really be here? Population would probably be under 1 billion people. And that's not natural. Murder is not natural. Revenge is not natural. Slavery is not natural. Tribalism is natural, and so is unity. Deforestation for new housing developments is economically viable, but not natural. So that's how sin works. That's what sin is. And you can see death cashing a check on all of these unnatural scenarios. Chop down all the forests if you want to, and see if you don't find a mountain lion on your patio. Go ahead and be celibate for the first 25 years of your life, only to wind up married to the wrong partner, and see if you don't die in slow motion from regret if you don't divorce. Go ahead and doubt yourself in a moment of danger when you got to make a split-second decision, and see if it don't cost you your life. Enter life without an imagination and see if you can plan. So in conclusion, it's only sin if it's not natural.